can read that story on page 26. Now, I&E window $774 per dollar. Parlor market $950 per dollar. Shonobi says Tinubu very concerned about Naira slide. Reviews intervention measures ready in matter of days. Now this is a report. Dollar supply remains major challenge in forex market. That story is on page 26. Story is on page 26. And moving on, CBN speaks on financial situation of country, expanding Airtel Africa's commitment to innovation. That's all for this day. I will be moving on to the Vanguard newspaper. Today on the Vanguard, Tuesday, August 15, 2023, Niger couist to prosecute oust President Bazoum for high treason. That's on page 8. 50 bandits, 13 military personnel killed in Niger State encounter. That's on page 6. 15 LASMA officials wounded in clash with soldiers as others abandoned duty post. That happened in the Ojota area of Lagos State. And to read that story, you can read it on page 7. It's economic shutdown if petrol price rises again. That's according to Labour. Accuses IGP, Justice Ministry of hijacking duties of Labour Ministry. Demands apology from IGP for arresting NURTW boss. Says Labour Ministry may go extinct if Tinubu is concerned about economic hardships. That's according to the presidency. Marketers urge federal government to tackle forex challenge. Say pump price may rise next week. You can see this story on page 5 of the Vanguard. The picture here shows how men in military beat up LASMA officials. That is the picture here. The LASMA officials deserted the duty post in the metropolis. You can see this story on page 7. Moving on to the Naira slide, CBN moves to crack down on speculators. That's on page 20. Edo begins virtual home classes for students on holiday. That's on page 8. That's a good move from the Edo State government. Really good one there. You can read that on page 8. Herdsmen killed 2 teachers, injured 2 others in Plateau School. That's on page 6. Delta, Ondo, Sokoto, 16 others to experience flooding in August. That's according to NEMA. You can read that on page 9. According to Adibe, a leader embarking on a vengeance mission must be prepared for a pushback by those targeted because they would employ whatever tool at their disposal to fight back. That's on page 17. Now in the sports section, which is on page 30, Napoli puts massive release clause for Osimhen new deal. That's on page 30 of the sports section. And that's all for the Vanguard. Before I move on to the Guardian newspaper, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue.
Here is the breaking news of the moment. Biscon TV, the most exciting 24-hour general interest television station, parading cutting-edge programs in news, sports, politics, business, foreign news, fashion and style, entertainment and lifestyle programs, Biscon movies and more, has been moved to channel 144 on Go TV. Our programs begin daily with Biscon Breakfast Bubble (BBB), featuring newspaper review and interviews on trending issues. Biscon Roundtable is our daily discussion program on essential tips on life and living. Biscon TV broadcasts news 7 times daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Biscon TV can be watched in all parts of the country now on Go TV channel 144 and live streaming on Biscon TV on YouTube. Biscon TV live streaming on YouTube is the fastest growing, most watched 24-hour live streaming channel on YouTube. Remember, Biscon TV has been moved from channel 108 to channel 144 on Go TV. Biscon TV, interactive, engaging and unconventional.
Yes, welcome back. Today, Tuesday 15, 2023. My first story here is on palliatives. Government silent 4 days to 8-week deadline for talks. That's on page 4. Tinubu's reforms face stress tests amid labor threat, forex scarcity. We can see the picture here. Fuel at 617 naira per litre set to rise further as naira weakens. Nigerians face more hardship as transport fares jump by 120.6%. That's on business and it's on page 15. Moving on to Niger crisis. U.S. mounts pressure on Tinubu as ECOWAS films over mixed signals. That's on page 6. According to PEPT, Ohaneze urges Nigerians to brace for surprise verdict. And that's on page 4. Seplet Energy recommits safety, environmental sustainability. And that's on page 5. Nigeria accumulated 44 trillion deficit in 24 years. That's on business and it's on page 15. That is the last story for The Guardian. I'm moving on to The Punch. Niger, US backs ECOWAS, demands more pressure on junta. That's on page 2. Bandits allegedly down NAF helicopter, kill 13 soldiers. That's on page 8. I spoke about that earlier. NLC protests proposed fuel price hike, threatens fresh strike. That's on page 2. On the Naira slump, CBN clamps down on speculators, restricts diaspora remittances. Acting CBN Governor meets Tinubu, predicts heavy losses for forex speculators. Federal government records zero oil earnings in 7 months. Naira crisis may worsen. Ogun, KB Customs seize ammunition, petrol, foreign rice. That's on pages 4 and 5. Diesel price hit $9.50 per litre. Manufacturers fear job losses. That's on page 20. Federal government extradite siblings to U.S. for sexual exploitation trial. That's on page 7. Osun invokes no work, no pay for striking poly workers. That's the last story for The Punch and it's on page 7. The New Telegraph, that is the last newspaper for today's newspaper review. I will begin with my first story here. Diaspora remittance. CBN amends policy on Naira payout. Professor Akinyemi. Why ECOWAS leadership is desperate to end Niger impasse. That's on page 2. WWC. First Lady hosts Falcons, hails team's resilience. That's on page 31. FCC job racketeering will receive salaries without working beneficiaries. That's on page 29. Olubadan. NCS is Nigeria's economic live wire. And that's on page 5 of the newspaper. Nembe attack. 8 suspected criminals arrested. That's according to FHQ. That's still on page 5. Impending fuel pump price hike. NLC vows to embark on strike without notice if check bad economic policies that make wages next to nothing. Ajero tells federal government. That's on page 3 and 8 for the impending fuel price hike. Moving on, we can see the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, why I paid surprise visit to Lagos Island hospitals. You can see the picture of Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who is the governor of Lagos State, with Odeyemi Omowumi during an unscheduled visit to Island Maternity Hospital in Lagos State. NEMA issues flood alert to 19 states, 56 communities. That's on page 4. AGM FBNH cautioned against disregard for court order. That's on page 31. Nigeria in election mode until judicial process ends, says Ezekwesili. That's on page 4. And moving on, banditry. Major, captain, 10 soldiers Many vigilantes killed in Niger State. 30 bandits eliminated. NAF's chopper and casualty evacuation mission crashes. Deploy your entire military arsenal to secure Niger. Sonny Musa tells federal government. You can read that on pages 2, 4, and 6. Kanduje. Deputy Governor's Endangered Species, says 2 ministers. DSP, APC National Chair Committee Chair, reward for Kano's vote. To read more on that, you can read it on pages 2 and 26. That's according to Kanduje. For the last story here, and it's a study. Eating 30 grains of nut daily can reduce depression risk. And that's on page 26 to read more on health matters. And that's all we have for you today on Newspaper Review. Thank you for joining us and thank you for watching. To read more and to see more, you can download the Biscon TV app on your Android devices or on your iOS devices. And you can also visit our YouTube channel to get the latest updates you need. And that's all we have for you today on Newspaper Review. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, you're welcome to Humor Hangout with Kofi the Guru. I'm your host with the most, and I promise you're going to have a fantastic time on this episode as well. Let me share this with you though. Have you ever thought why sometimes your dreams tend to go in a certain way? I never used to know until recently. I have 3 kids. So I spend a lot of time with them watching cartoons, kiddies programs, and I realized that anytime I go to sleep, maybe after about 6 hours of spending time with them watching television before going to sleep, I sleep peacefully with beautiful dreams. I'm seeing maybe chocolate factories, I'm seeing, puppets, I'm seeing very playful. I'm back to when I was a kid as well. Then I noticed that other days I'm having nightmares, I'm having terrible things happen in my dream, like there's war, there's problem, there's ritual, there are one crisis or the other. So I never knew on time until I had to observe. Something just told me one midnight when I was having one of those nightmares to just wake up and think about it. So I was having a truckload of tanker fall, fire was burning, cement buildings were crumbling on me, fighter jets were bombing me. I just woke up and said, God, why? And he said, oh, CNN. I said, oh, no. Which of the CNN, Cartoon News Network or the normal CNN? So I now observe that every time I watch cartoon with the kids, I sleep blissfully. No nightmares, no bad dream. But every time I watch CNN, Al Jazeera, and the likes, all the problems on earth come to my dream. Perhaps that's what's happening to you too. Also, have you observed that a baby tends to take the shape of the person that they see constantly? Like if the baby is always with the mother, at some point they start to resemble the mother. And then if it changes, maybe the father then spends a lot of time with the baby. The baby starts to look like the person, especially if the person is fine. My neighbor has had a problem recently. So this other neighbor, the man is not so fine. He comes to their house all the time. And you know, you always greet the wife and then carry the baby and play with the baby for a long time. After a while, the baby started looking like the man. Till tomorrow, the man still doesn't believe that his wife did not cheat with that man. Because the baby is looking like this other man. If the man was fine, maybe the man wouldn't have mind, but the man is not looking so, and you know, and then the bad thing was the baby started growing teeth, and the teeth looked like the man. So is it truly science, or you know, think about it. We'll be back. Baby, see, I brought you there, you see?
Good afternoon, welcome to our store. How may we help you today?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I need to get something nice for my babe, and I see that you have quite a lot here. I think this should work with her skin. Yes. So how much is this one?
This is 60,000 naira, sir.
60,000?
Yes, sir.
It's in 60,000 naira?
Yes, sir.
In fact, I will double the price. I will pay 120. Eh?
Yes.
For you, baby. So help me get her size, her small size.
We don't have a size, sir.
Oh. Okay, children's department, you have something for her there. So it means we can't buy her. Okay, thank you. Shibi, you can hear. When I was telling you, let us go to roadside, Yaba. 2,000 naira will find all your size. You say no, big boutique. Okay.
Wait. So what will now happen?
What will happen now?
Yes.
What will now happen? Simple. Nothing big will happen. Something small will happen now. Take.
Wait, but you said 2,000 now.
But for wasting my time, I rest 500.
Are you there? You are doing well. You know, when I see people who are doing well, especially, I like to tell them, I say, alright, you are doing well. It's your boy, no, it's your daddy, Mr. Macaroni. And you get it now. You are watching Humor Hangout with Kofi Daguru. Alright.
Okay, you're welcome back to Humor Hangout with Kofi the Guru. Yes, I told you earlier that my guest today is unconventional. In my line of duty, we call people like this madmen. He's one of the new guys on the block who has decided to be a good nuisance. You know, there's no definition for it that would come out right. There's no way you want to define him that would make sense without it being nonsense. Because in doing what he does, you're trying to figure him out and then you are wondering why you're laughing. Like, how? Then you now look stupid later, like, is that why I was laughing? Then you now look at the person who made you laugh and he is acting like nothing happened. It makes you feel like, wait, what? Okay. Mr. Paul, ladies and gentlemen, my guest on the show.
All right, I think I'll disprove everything you said now. So I'm going to be myself today. So.
Oh, okay. Who were you on stage all those times? Like at my show last
I'm
time?
actually myself, but I don't know how. Maybe it depends on your view, where you're seated or how you're imagining what I'm saying. But today, let me try and act different, maybe. So maybe that will help me out.
Even the way you're talking, is it making sense to you?
Like this?
Okay, I know a lot of people.
So what now makes sense? How do I now make sense?
Because we have gotten lost in your narrative that we don't even know. Is your name even Paul? Let's start from there. Is your real name Paul?
Yes. Formerly, my name is Paul. Yeah, I had Apostle added to it, and so I was formerly called Apostle Paul.
How now? How? You see what I'm saying?
Then
when
people who knew I should be an apostle gave me that name, and but as time goes on, I have to change that name. because I'm like not portraying the name apostle you get. So my narrator in pidgin because this English thing go restrict my
No,
total
continue.
explanation.
Both ways. I'm okay. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm just.
So how will I put it now? I was in Owerri one time, like for an event. So after the event in the hotel, you know, some artists, comedians, and sometimes you end up in the room with some other project you get. So I was with one when my phone rang. So I picked the call, and the next thing I heard was, Apostle, please say something. My son is dying. My son is dying. As I was telling you, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. Say, just say one. I never knew the lady saved. You know, since I'm answering Apostle Paul now, so she saved apostles, so many apostles in her phone. Now she is in distress, so she got called any one of them, and I ended up to be the one she called. I was like, Mama, I'm not be a Christian. No, she said, just say one word. My son will not die. Say one word. So I was confused. Look at somebody here. So it was even the girl that picked the call and said, Mama, your son will be fine.
The project was a girl.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And no, so that was how, I don't know, the testimony, though I couldn't call her to ask if there was testimony after then. But after whether but I just knew I had to change the name. So that I won't be at the beginning of your when you swipe to your phone, you can't be seen. You know, you meet alphabetically, you meet A, B, and so before you get to P, at least you should know that this guy, this is not him or that. So, and apart from that, sometimes we go to the club, you be hearing Apostle Paul in the building. I'm like, really? I got to change his name, man. So that's how I switched. So I'm now Mr. Paul, and so. I wonder, now that I started answering Mr. Paul, that is when people don't understand me. So, I don't know how to explain.
Wait, excuse me, do you have a father?
Of course, yes. I have father, I have mother, I have sibling.
Are you dating anybody?
Yeah.
No, how did you tell her that you want to, and she believed? How did you open your mouth? You, Paul, how did you open your mouth and tell a girl?
I must play this clip so that she will see the clip. The truth is, entertainers or comedians, I don't know about that, we hardly tell a girl, like we hardly shake a girl like other people. So you just start from kind of friendship, hey, what's up now? You know, from there. Even someone, you didn't gist me, you didn't tell me you wanted, but just like you started dating. But this one, there was one time she asked me, like, you've not asked me out, so officially tell me. And I said, okay, how do they ask people out? Because I don't know. I don't really know how to ask people out. I don't know how to
Now
ask.
that you have been dating her, those things that you say on stage, when she's watching you, how does she feel?
She has to buy into my ideas, and she's in it already. So
if she gives birth to children for you,
I'm married first now. I'm married first.
Okay, well, whoever you end up marrying, let me get to my point too. Whoever you end up marrying,
yes,
the person now gives birth to a child, and your child comes back from school with school results, and they decide to explain to you the way you explain things to us. How would you feel?
No. My own explanation. Well, they laugh. I don't know how to put them. Now, my own explanation. Okay, can I explain one stuff so that maybe people will try and buy from? Like most times, it just depends on how like I said before. Now, your view towards what I'm going to say. Like there was one time we're coming from Warri to Lagos here, and it was during Harmattan period. You know those Harmattan period now. Yeah. So that time breeze they blow and all those stuff. So driver they announced, if anybody not bring your head, come outside from the motor. So the breeze they blow people head, you know. So everybody wind up. But one girl sit down for my front. She wear earpiece, you know, they play music. So she not here. So driver keep announcing, nobody should wind down, the breeze is too much. Even those small keke, the breeze they carry them, you know. So we're just struggling, very heavy breeze, you know. So, but before we reach Ore, the girl call bring, she not here, so she call bring her head, come outside. Breeze call carry her head. Me not even know. So me no know say Breeze carry the get here. Now the earpiece where she put for you, where not, you know, earpiece call for. So I call carry the earpiece put. So me and I call the talk. They talk, they go, they talk, they go. Now when we reach...
You and who?
So now when we reach Ore, now she call the sound, where is my head? Where is my head? So now cause you know see your head don't fly that time. So driver got turn back because we need to go find the get head. So now when would they go back? Now cause because other motor self they turn. So no say people self their heads fly. So we reach there now, did many head of food there. So I don't know the get home. So I got pick anyone, put on the get say this is not my head. Somewhere don't carry a head, don't reach Shagamu. They get another head for year. So when we reach Shagamu, police they stop people for there, they check people's head. Because some people their body not right with their head, you know. So with all this story now, are you not saying you don't understand what I've been saying, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Humor Hangout. I can't hold it anymore. I need to go on a break before I come back to this madness happening in here. Please, I can't bear it. I said it earlier. I'm out.
How you doing, guys? We are here again. I'm a Nigerian, and 2020 has been something else when it comes to things that are happening around the world. But Nigeria own is peculiar. We've had so many issues. Yeah, COVID-19, that one is general. Then you need to come to Nigeria, then we'll give you our own page, you know, and things that has happened. But the one that actually baffled me, and the one that is still raving till now, because COVID-19 raved, NSAS raved, Hoodlum raved, looting raved, so many things like that raved. But the major one that is still on ground now, I need to let you all know, onion. Do you know that product we call onion? If onions can make name, do you know how much onions is sold in the market? One onion, you can buy it for 2,500 naira. You go to canteen these days now, you want to buy rice, they tell you, Oga, rice with onions, 1.5, without onions, 700 naira. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Open Teeth, make it for no loss. This is my time, and in case you don't know, this is a Humor Hangout with Kofi.
This year, we've raised the bar up to the point where we're giving the first person that wins here tonight, the queen of the night, a whooping 3 million naira.
Your event needs a cultured and matured professional, someone who is good at what they do, an experienced comedian and master of ceremonies. We present the comedy virtuoso and 6 languages multilingual expert, the multiple award-winning Kofi the Guru, the master of ceremony that brings finesse and purpose to the table. Get quality and value for your money. Call 0802-352-7965 for bookings. Follow Kofi the Guru on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Your event deserves the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. Thank you very much. Once again, you're welcome.
Okay, we're back. It's Humor Hangout with Kofi the Guru, your host with the most, and I'm here with my brother, wonderful, fantastic, humorous entity in a different dimension. He comes from a different planet. His cognitive is a bit different. His ways of putting those things together.
Coordinations.
Yes, you know, it's a bit uncoordinated.
But I'm happy you said I'm your brother, so at least that part.
Yes, you're an advanced version of where I'm coming from. You know, when I was coming up, they would say we're crazy, we're mad, but it's good to see that the advanced version, you know.
Just bust out.
Yes. So.
See how that ones, the eyes are not.
Let me ask you, if truly, because with all this your calculations and all this your this thing, you're the perfect person I should ask this question, Paul. If indeed mermaids truly exist, and then you see the most beautiful being by the seaside, would you run or follow her? Mami water. Mermaid.
First of all, okay, if indeed they exist, right? Because me, I actually don't believe they exist.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fact. So I never believe those guys exist. But if they do, if you see Mami water, oh, never run. Then I did this Mami water. Because nowadays, now, if they catch you, in fact, if you see them, you have to run because there are some that are even where they the earth, they're not near water, we they run from them. Imagine I can't go the one way they near water. So now me find and go. So anything happen to me, no case. So of course I will run. If I see anyone like that, I'll definitely run. So
how long have you been doing this, Paul?
Okay.
I don't trust anything you want to say.
Just
once you put okay in the beginning.
No. At least let me be normal now, and let me talk like other people too.
Okay, you knew you were not normal.
That's where I'm tagged. That's where I'm tagged. So I know I'm normal, but the tagging of me not being normal, I'm getting used to it now. So sometimes I'll just be like, okay, I'm not normal. But to be frank, I'm really, really normal. I'm very serious,
Wait, have you ever taken a cab and then by your directions, the cabman lost his way?
I think it almost happened yesterday when I was going to mainland. I had a wedding in mainland yesterday, so first of all, I really don't know where I was going to. So, but I felt I must have taken some of the routes several times, so I felt I know. But at the end, we ended up, I don't know where the place where the guy carried us go again, and I only one motor to feed the pass. It's a very tiny road. So the guy wanted to complain. Now I say na map, not be me lead you. Na map we dey follow. You not feel read your map, me not feel read them. So we are stuck here. But at the end, I had to pay more than, you understand. So definitely, because even if I'm leading right, they'll just believe I'm not doing the right thing. So I better just stay behind and watch somebody leads. But so when you back to the question you asked me that when
all.
Okay, when, how this is not how I normally performed. I started comedy a few years ago. A friend of mine named Harry Young, he's a DOP now, presently in Lagos, was in my church that time. I was in a drama group, so the guy just saw me. I was like, okay, bro, sometimes when we act, I make people laugh in my role, even when the role is serious. So from there, so but the way I performed before was like, I can just tell you, I like comparing, those worry kind of, in worry, like there was one stuff a guy cracked here just now. It was something I did some years ago. So when I hear what the guy man, I say, I don't try to, I don't do some things. I mean, just tell you, for worry, you go see where Sandine, the C3 Pomo inside, away for go to Akeke Night Drag and come out. Worry now, I'll just be comparing. So those guys in Benin, some other, so Chama, So the guy used that medium to restrict us, but not knowing he was creating something out of me. And so it was there. I stood and I started talking. I didn't know. I just see myself talking very calm. When I finished, everybody was just laughing. When I finished, I sat down. I was like, "How did this happen? This is not me. I don't talk calmly. So it was there I started training myself from that angle.
From normal to
then I was talking normal. I said true stories, jokes, but as time goes on, I have to start twisting gist and I create.
So you agree now that
you're
a twister?
I agree that I twist stories. So most like that.
Yeah, I enjoy everything you do, man. That's why I invite you to everything.
Yeah, boss.
I
just told all the watching our boss. You are a strong mentor.
We thank the Lord.
There's one of your jokes you crack one time. Not to forget that one. You say, if you face me, I face you. I love that gist. Look, if you do my picky, I'll go do your mama. You still remember the gist?
No crack am. Make them no go copy am again.
That gist, man. I was like, this.
Well, I had it. There's still there, but Mokona the chopper they go. So I'm wrapping up because of time,
Yeah.
So I usually will give a quote and then I'll play a twister with you.
Okay.
And you twist our head with all your stories. So let me twist your tongue.
Okay.
You're going to say this 3 times after me. Friday, February 1444, Father Francis fried 5 fishes for 5 fathers from France.
Friday, February 1444. Father Francis fried 5 fishes for 5 fathers from France.
Fried father from
France.
He fried fathers. He fried 5 fathers. Oh man. Okay. Let me read my quote. I just opened.
Oh there's a quote.
Yeah, quotes of the guru. I just dropped something, you know.
This is your book now, right?
Yes, it's my book. It's called The Beauty of the Beast, The Scars That Made Me a Star.
Okay.
And I have quotes in it that I share with people.
All right.
This ties in with our job.
Okay.
So quote 155. It says, every new joke is a test.
Wow.
Every event an exam. Every occasion a celebration.
Every new joke
is a test. For every time we come out to tell a new joke, is a test.
Yeah.
Every event is an exam.
Every event is an exam. Then
every occasion is celebration.
Every occasion is celebration. Okay, it's a fact. Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. The first one that says
every new joke is a test.
Is a test. New joke on stage is a test, because before I try my jokes on stage, I must have tried it with friends. So I should be playing with it. So sometimes when we are talking amongst ourselves,
so it is now when you now go and try to the major, it's a test.
It's
it's either you fail.
I thought I've already tested it now. So on stage now, I'm confident it's not.
Maybe with your own pattern.
Okay. So,
your own pattern. But for every time you go out, to drop a new
now,
joke.
Another time, what's the difference between now occasion and event? Because yes, because you said for the event own is every event is you said something about the event.
Every occasion is a celebration.
Yes, then the event one is an exam. No.
Every new joke
is
a test.
Yes.
Every event an exam.
Every event an exam.
Every event you go and anchor, it's an examination for you.
Yeah.
People will examine you.
Okay.
They will check you out.
The occasion is.
Then every occasion is a celebration.
Okay.
Tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee? I do both.
Okay.
Yeah, I do both, really.
So I have a mug for you. For you to take your coffee or tea better.
Wow,
it's right here in this park.
Wow.
To say thank you with other goodies for coming on the show. It's an honor, it's a privilege.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you so much for coming, Paul.
I didn't just come, I had my own package too. Oh, that's good.
So you know how to speak for them.
Yeah, I'm in Lagos now, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been my guest, Mr. Paul. One of the craziest comedians we have in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Till next time, stay good.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Here is the breaking news of the moment. Biscon TV, the most exciting 24-hour general interest television station, parading cutting-edge programs in news, sports, politics, business, foreign news, fashion and style, entertainment and lifestyle programs, Biscon movies and more, has been moved to channel 144 on Go TV. Our programs begin daily with Biscon Breakfast Bubble (BBB), featuring newspaper review and interviews on trending issues. Biscon Roundtable is our daily discussion program on essential tips on life and living. Biscon TV broadcasts news 7 times daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Biscon TV can be watched in all parts of the country now on Go TV channel 144 and live streaming on Biscon TV on YouTube. Biscon TV live streaming on YouTube is the fastest growing, most watched 24-hour live streaming channel on YouTube. Remember, Biscon TV has been moved from channel 108 to channel 144 on Go TV. Biscon TV. Interactive, engaging, and unconventional.
On entering the exquisitely decorated Kudos Hall and Event Center, one will feel the love and joy that spreads through the atmosphere at the traditional wedding ceremony of the son of former Senate President, Senator Adolphus Nwabara. The event, which was held on Thursday, 30th of March 2017, witnessed a robust presence of personalities from the political sphere. The groom, Tamino Toyin Nwabara, a brilliant young man who hails from Ohambele town in Ukwa East local government area of Abia State, is a graduate of innovation and entrepreneurship from the University of Warwick. The groom's parents, Senator Adolphus Nwabara, former Senate President of Nigeria, and Mrs. Felicia Nwabara, came out in style. Senator Adolphus Nwabara became a senator in 1999 and was President of the Senate from 2003 to 2005. The bride, Ms. Toluwani Oyefuga, owner of a top fashion brand, hails from Irolu Remo in Ikene local government area of Ogun State. She is the daughter of Engineer Chief Olatunji Oyefuga and Chief Mrs. Folashade Oyefuga. Dignitaries who joined in the celebration include former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former Governor of Ogun State, Olusegun Oshoba, Senator Musliu Obanikoro, former Minister of State for Defense, Senator Akinlabi Olasukomi, former Minister for Youth Development, Senator Itagiwa, and other friends, colleagues and well-wishers of both families. The parents of the couple, Engineer Chief Olatunji Oyefuga and Senator Adolphus Nwabara, alongside their wives, could not hide their joy and excitement. It was a union between two different ethnic groups, one of those intertribal marriages that attracts so much expectations and promotes unity and oneness among Nigerians from different tribes. The hall, beautifully decorated in gold, white and mint green, complemented the beautiful outfits worn by the guests, who were gorgeously dressed in class and style. Trust the African queens to always put in their best in terms of fashion and style. The Nwambaras quickly made their way to the section where the bride's parents were seated and were warmly welcomed. Chief Mrs. Folashade Oyefuga, the mother of the bride, joined her in-laws, the Nwabaras, as they danced to the melodious song provided by the band. The ceremony kicked off with an opening prayer, conducted by a member of the bride's family, Mrs. Alake Shobo. In a grand entry, the bride's parents cheerfully danced in and were later joined by other members of the family. The presentation of the letter of intent by the family of the groom featured prayers and admonition by the maternal uncle of the groom, Elder Tom Ukwerebo. The bride's family received the letter as tradition demands. The letter was shown to other members of the family, after which the bride's niece, Angela Pratt, read the letter to the guests. Some minutes later, the handsome groom, Tamino Toyin Nwabara, was ushered in, accompanied by his fashionable-looking groomsmen. On entry, the groom and his entourage paid homage to the bride's parents, and as a sign of acceptance, they showered prayers on him.
Arise and shine, for the light has come. And in the bed of fellow men, you will not go and beg another woman. This one is going to be permanent and it's going to be forever. In Jesus' mighty name.
The groom, Taono Wabara, alongside his entourage, also paid homage to his parents, who also prayed for him. This was immediately followed by some pleasantries and photo sessions. The very beautiful bride, Miss Toluwani Oyefuga, gorgeously dressed in company of her lovely bridal train, danced heartily to the melodies from the band as they made their way into the hall. Concealed in her veil, she was dressed in a corresponding traditional outfit with that of her husband. In like manner, she paid homage to her parents, and then the groom's parents, as prayers were showered on her. It was then time for the bride, Toluwani Oyefuga, to meet her groom, who had been waiting anxiously for her all the while. She knelt down before him as he showered prayers on her. This was quickly followed by a photo session with the bride's friends and the couple. The father of the groom, Senator Adolphus Wabara, presented a dowry to the bride's parents. He said he was happy that his son was getting married from the Oyefuga's family. He added that the bride's father, Engineer Chief Olatunji Oyefuga, is a respectable man who is meek at heart. He further appreciated the presence of the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and all other guests present. The dowry was later presented with other items as tradition demands. The second leg of the occasion witnessed the grand entry of the couple as husband and wife, looking beautiful in their Igbo attire. Love, joy and laughter filled the air as the bride, Toluwani, and the groom, Tamono Tonye, could not contain their joy. It was fun all the way as the couple and guest danced in excitement over the engagement between the groom, Tamono Tonye Wabara, and the bride, Miss Toluwani Oyefuga. From Biscon Communications, we say big congratulations and many hearty cheers to the Wabaras and the Oyefugas. According to the Holy Book, there shall come a time when a man shall leave his father and mother to be joined to his wife, and the two are united as one. For Tamunutoye Wabara, the son of former Senate President and elder statesman, Senator Adolphus Wabara, walked down the aisle with Toluwani Oyefuga. The solemnization of the holy matrimony was held at Our Saviour's Church, Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, on Saturday, 1st April 2017. It was witnessed by important personalities from across Nigeria and beyond. The roll call include founder Dar Communications PLC, Dr. Raymond Aliohodopose, retired Lieutenant General Oladipo Dia, former Governor of Ogun State Otumba Gbenga Daniel, who was accompanied by his wife, Professor Patu Tommy and his wife. Also at the church service were royal fathers, which included the Amayanabo of Okpobo, King Dadinson Douglas Jaja V, the Alake of Igbaland, Obadedo Tungbadebo, stated that marriage is given primarily for husband and wife to help each other, living faithfully together in need and in plenty, in sorrow and in joy. He prayed God to strengthen and guide them as they fulfill His purpose for the whole of their earthly sojourn together. It was time for one of the key parts of the wedding, the declaration of wedding vow by the couple. The congregation listened with rapt attention as the couple, Tamunutoye Wabara and Toluwani Oyefuga, expressed their sincere and undying love for each other in the presence of man and God.
I, Tamunutoye, take you, Toluwani, to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, sickness and health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part, according to God's holy law. This is my solemn vow.
I, Toluwani, take you, Tamunutoye, to be my husband, have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, cherish, and to obey till death do us part, according to God's holy law, my solemn vow.
After that, the priest invited the father of the bride to the pulpit as he handed over his daughter, Toluwani, to her husband, Tamunutoye Wabara, to perform the official handover of his daughter in the presence of God and in the eyes of the congregation as the priest blessed them. In his sermon, which was taken from Ephesians chapter 5, verses 21 to 33, admonished the couple to love each other as they love and care for their bodies. He said, husbands must love their wives as Jesus loves the church, and wives must respect and submit to their husband, adding that their marriage is one which cuts through ethnic barriers and promotes national unity.
Wives, this may submit to your husbands as if you are submitting to the Lord, because the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. For husbands, this means love your wives as Christ loved the church, and so on and so forth. And there are many other passages of scripture that talk about marriage and the relationship that should exist between spouses, between a man and his wife. And we've got to make up our minds either to believe what the Bible says or what the world says.
The choir ended a special song at the church service as the couple, their parents, and the clergy took part in the signing of the marriage register.
The parents of the couple and the happy couple were joined by a long lineup of their friends during the Thanksgiving session. The church service ended with the recessional hymn as the couple led the congregation out of the church, where they later took part in a photo and video session with friends, family members, and other well-wishers. The prestigious Oriental Hotel on Victoria Island, Lagos, was the venue for the reception of the glamorous marriage between Toluwani Oyefuga and Tamunotoyin Wabara, son of former Senate President and elder statesman Senator Adolphus Wabara. The hall was decorated in the color scheme chosen for the day. This was complemented by the dignitaries, both men and women, who kept strictly to the color code of the day. Indeed, the entire ambience of the hall had an exotic feeling, as everyone looked forward earnestly to the unfolding of the excitement ahead. That aspect of the event kicked off with the entry of the parents of the bride and groom, and they danced joyously to the glory of God. The most anticipated part of the event was when the bride and groom, hugely supported by their friends, who constituted the groomsmen and bridesmaids and bridal train, stormed the arena with energetic dancing and feel-good gesture. Everyone stood to receive them as the couple went to town with customized dance steps, trying to outdo each other, and they were hugely applauded from all corners of the hall. After the opening prayers, chairman of the occasion, former governor of Ogun State, Otumagbenga Daniel, gave the welcome remarks. In it, he congratulated both families, the Wabara family from Ohambele town, Okwa East local government area of Abia State, and the Oyefuga from Irolu Remo, Ikene local government area of Ogun State. Turning specifically and pointedly to the couple of the moment, Otumagbenga Daniel asked them to see that their marriage remains one that aspiring couples and those already married will continue to draw a lot of inspiration from.
To the newest couple in town, I want to congratulate you most sincerely, and I want to wish you the very best. I have seen the way you have announced your arrival. It is most spectacular, and I'm also praying that this spectacular arrival of yours will be sustained in your life by the special grace of God.
Next was the cutting of the cake.
They're going to cut the cake at the end of, when the crowd says amen, okay? So we're going to cut the cake in the name of the Father. We're going to cut the cake in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The father-daughter dance routine. The mother-groom dance gave way to the bridal dance, and here, the couple of the moment, the lovebirds, faced each other squarely in a no-holds-barred fashion. Abia State Governor Dr. Okeze Bazo admonished the latest couple in town to love and always listen to each other. He advised the groom to see the bride as a partner in decision-making and prayed God to grant them long and successful marriage life.
I want to advise you, my brother, that this partnership you have endorsed today is not only sacred, but brings upon you some responsibility. That responsibility is that you have to protect your wife by all means, so that she will continue to look up to you, and you cannot do it unless you do it prayerfully. The other piece of advice I want to give is that don't listen to anybody who tells you that you must take all decisions in the house. You must at all times recourse to her and hear her voice. I am one of those who pride myself to say that my wife is the boss in the house. If I'm going to a certain direction and she calls my attention, if what she's saying is good, I will beat a retreat immediately, because you don't have any other than this woman beside you.
The spinster friends of the bride lined up happily and cheerfully to make a dash for the bouquet of the flowers thrown by the bride. The high-octane wedding between Tamunotoye, the handsome son of former Senate President Adolphus Wabara, and his beautiful bride, Toluwani Oyefuga, now Mrs. Toluwani Wabara, ended on a happy note of singing and dancing. May God grant the families of the couple all the good things that come with marriage, especially peace of mind and useful children.
The late Owafi Gbajo in the Boluwaduru local government area of Osun State, Alayeluwa Oba Isaac Adelani Famodu II, was born on Thursday, the 16th of December, 1926, in the Gbeleru the ruling house of Igbajo in the Boluwaduru local government area of Osun State. God knows and owns the future. The late Oba Adelani Famodu was conceived 8 months before the demise of his grandfather, Oba Adeduba Famodu I. The dashing young Prince Adelani Famodu started his primary education at the Baptist Day School Igbajo in the Boluwaduru local government area of Osun State from 1941 to 1946, and later proceeded to the Baptist Theological Seminary in Ogbomoso. He was there from 1946 to 1947, where he graduated as a pastor in 1947. He pastored the G Baptist Church in Kwara State from 1947 to 1949, and because of his desire for good and greater qualification, in 1949, he decided to further his education, and through the assistance of his uncle, Prince James Adekbonlilatilo, he proceeded to the Business Training School of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in the city of Kano until 1950. After the completion of his training, he founded his own company, Fawa Trading Company, Kano, as a manager in 1951. And by the side, he was a practicing politician. He was the then chairman of the defunct Action Group in the whole of the northern region, with Chief Josiah Olawoyin as the general secretary of the party from 1951 to 1955. He returned from Kano to the western region in 1955 to establish a timber supply company. After he had established himself as a shrewd businessman, he engaged himself with getting a training in the supply of cow hoofs to a company in Chicago in the United States of America in 1957. He, however, shelved the plan when he became a beneficiary of God's kindness, as an approval was given by the government of the Western region on Tuesday, September 17, 1957, for his appointment as the Owa of Igbajo under the premiership of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He accepted responsibility for the future and positioned himself for God's intervention in his life and destiny. He was installed in October 1957. He got married the same year to his first wife, Olori Biyemi Atoke Famodu, and on the 30th of March 1972, he got married to Olori Shikeoye Famodu. Both marriages are blessed with princes and princesses. The highlight of his 35 years reign as the Owa of Igbajo was a special indication to the 25th anniversary of the reign of the Queen of England. He joined his ancestors on the 15th of August 1988 at the age of 62. It's interesting to note that his own son, Oba Adigboyega Famodu III, is now the Owa of Igbajo Kingdom in the Boluwaduru local government area of Osun State. All Igbajo's sons and daughters at home and abroad pray that God will continue to grant him eternal rest. Amen.
The traditional marriage ceremony between Rolake Shuaga, daughter of the renowned, very eloquent, versatile and engaging broadcaster Alhaji Ayinde Shuaga, and Abiodun Animashaun, was held on the 5th of August 2017 at the Obasanjo Marquee Event Center in Ogun State. The venue for the engagement ceremony shimmered and glittered in gold and white, the chosen color of the day, as parents of the couple oozed a sense of fulfillment to be physically present to witness the glorious moments every parent eagerly looks forward to. Alhaji Ayinde Shuaga, father of the bride, is the current Assistant Director News of the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) and former General Manager Ogun State Television (OGTV). Alhaji Ayinde Shuaga is from Abeokuta in Ogun State and also a product of the Ogun State Polytechnic, now Moshood Abiola University. As expected, staff of both Ogun State Television (OGTV) and the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) were there in huge numbers to show mutual support to the bride's father. The couple, who are based in London, were represented by their siblings Barakat Shuaga and Oluwaseun Animashaun, as each carried out the basic traditional rites required by Rolake and Abiodun. Notable dignitaries at the event were Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, Ben Akimbola, General Manager NTA Abeokuta, Honorable Justice Olatokunbo Olakbade, Chief Judge of Ogun State, former Speaker Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Titi Oseni Gomez, Iyalode Alaba Lawson, Olori Muibat Oyefusi, wife of late Obavi Ikorodu. Music enveloped the entire arena as parents of the groom, the Animashauns, were joined by other family members who danced their way into the arena, after which the bride's family danced in, glowing with smiles. Thereafter, the groom's family went ahead to greet the bride's family in order to request for their beautiful daughter's hand in marriage. There was a swift response from the bride's family to positively reaffirm the fact that they have given the bride Rolake Shuaga completely to Abiodun Animashaun. The opening prayer was led by Sheikh Salisu Alawade Nekon. After that, Nafisat Shuaga, younger sister of the bride, read the letter of intent as the formal presentation and acceptance of the letter followed. The groom, Abiodun Animashaun, who was represented by his younger brother, Oluwaseun Animashaun, walked in with his friends. They were ushered into the arena as they expressed their joy through dancing and singing, all dressed in white. The groom and his friends were put through the different traditional rites by the mistresses of ceremony, after which he sat and patiently waited for the grand arrival of the bride. The bride, Rolake Shuaga, who was represented by her younger sister, Barakat Shuaga, and her friends were ushered into the arena amid singing and dancing. The bride immediately connected with her parents and the groom's parents, who blessed her with loads of prayers before she took her seat. Next was the meeting of both parents, which saw the bride's parents appreciating the groom's family for requesting their daughter's hand in marriage. In an interview with our BOS correspondent, the father and mother of the bride relayed how happy they were about the union and wished the couple the very best. The father of the bride, Alhaji Ayinde Shuaga, father of the bride, in an interview, also wished the couple the very best in the union.
You know, for every parent, this is the joy of every parent, to witness you giving your daughter away. And I'm a very happy man. This is not a fresh union. This union was made in 2010 in London. But this is an opportunity for the family to get together, to be able to see ourselves, the Shuaga and the Anima Shaun families. So this is the first time that we are coming together. This is the traditional wedding. And we're very happy, we're thankful, we're grateful. I'm very grateful that they are together.
I want to say congratulations on the success of this traditional wedding. I bless you from the bottom of my heart. You are a child of prosperity and goodwill. And I thank and bless the name of the most living God who brought you into my life. I couldn't have wished or prayed for a better daughter. Congratulations once again. I wish you all the good success and prosperity in life. The Lord will guide your footsteps. The Lord will guide your paths. And your children will indeed call you blessed. And to my dearest son, Abiodun Omotayo, the son of the Anima Shauns, I'm grateful to God for bringing you also into my life, because you are different amongst men. You are kind as well, you are giving, and I wish you all the best.
Others who had goodwill messages for the couple were the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, former Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Titi Oseni Gomez, Mrs. Ngozi Nsien, retired Director of the NTA, Iyalode Alaba Lawson, President Nasima.
I want to wish them congratulations. I say congratulations to them for witnessing, for giving their daughter in marriage. And because it is a rare privilege to give one's daughter in marriage. But we thank God. And then what I would just admonish them is that they should make sure they leave this couple to live their life the way they would like to live it. They should not poke nose into their affairs any longer. However, they will continue to be with them in prayers and then give them good advice when they need them.
I want to congratulate them on today's occasion. It is a thing of joy for our children to get married to their soulmate, and so we're happy and glad to be here to support them. It is my prayer that this marriage shall be a blessing. The good Lord will bless them, will bless their home. They will be blessed with good children, and everything that the couple will need to make a good home, the good Lord will provide for them. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the parents of the bride and the groom as well. I pray that we will all live to do this type of things for our children.
I wish the couple happy married life, and I want to let them know that with God all things are possible. They should put God first in their life, and all other things will fall in line. And my message to them is that they should not allow third party to go in between them, so that they can have a very peaceful married life. They will understand each other better.
The engagement ceremony between Rolake Shuaga and Abiodun Anima Shaun came to an end with the Sax for Soul Band, which entertained the guests to melodious tunes, as both parents were joined by families and friends on the dance floor. From the chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo, we felicitate with the Shuagas and the Animashans on the success of the traditional wedding ceremony of their children, Rolake and Abiodo Animashan. We wish the newly engaged couple a happy married life. The traditional engagement ceremony between Prince Aderemi Adejare Shiduade and Olabisi Asake Folawiyo has been on the drawing board of the calendar of high-end events in these parts for a very long time, and a lot of preparations have gone into it from both families. It was therefore not surprising that when the event finally came up on Saturday, 4th of March 2017, it was without any doubt at all oversubscribed in terms of the caliber of attendees from all spheres of influence across and beyond the shores of Nigeria. The groom, Prince Aderemi Adejare Shiduade, is the split-image son of the late Ooni of Ife, His Royal Majesty Oba Okunade Shiduade II, while his mother is Olori Ladun Shiduade. The bride, Olabisi Asake Folawiyo, is the daughter of the late Baba Adini of Nigeria, Alhaji Yinka Inyoda Folawiyo, while his mother is Mrs. Shola Folawiyo, née Shosonya. Echoes of the good deeds of the late Ooni of Ife, Oba Okunade Shiduade II, and the Baba Adini of Nigeria, Alhaji Yinka Inyoda Folawiyo, resonated loudly in the air as Nigerians paid a well-deserved homage to the everlasting legacy of love which they had bequeathed to the society in the way they related to everyone. The incumbent Ooni of Ife, who is the 51st occupant of the most exalted office, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, who was supported by his wife Olori Wurola Ogunwusi, played the role of the father of the day. He was supported by a rich legion of monarchs from Ile-Ife, the source, and environs. High chiefs of Ife and prominent sons and daughters of the soil also rose up stoutly to be counted in support of Ife cause. They include the Balogun of Ife, Chief Bisi Omidiora, Chief John Odeyemi, Are Muyiwa Omishade and wife, Senator Babajide Omoworare, Otumba Adekunle and Erilojo Olakpe Ojora, Vice Admiral Akin Aduwo retired, Otumba Shobumi Balogun and wife, Alhaji Razak Okoya and his wife, Chief Dr. Mrs. Shade Okoya, Justice Adeshola Oguntade and his wife, Chief Mrs. Mudupeola Oguntade, Olorogun Sonny Kuko, Senator Gbenga Shafa, Haji Bola Shagaya, Senator Daisy Danjuma, Senator Yinka Omilani, Mr. Bode Emmanuel, Prince Samuel Adedoyin, Erelu Abiola Dosumu, Mrs. Toyin Saraki, wife of the Senate President, wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Olufunso Amosun, Ambassador Tokunbo Awolowo Dosunmu, former First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Ajoke Muritala Mohammed, for the richest man in Africa, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Mr. Femi Otedola, Basharu J.K. Randall, Dr. John Abebe and wife, Mr. Ken Obo and wife, Mr. Segun Awolowo, Prince Bisi Olatilo and others. They had to commute between Abeokuta for the OBJ event and Lagos. Members of the traditional institution registered a solid